What's going on, everybody? King of Dragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the Hasbro Marvel Legends X-Men series Build-A-Figure Wendigo. Here we do have Wendigo fully assembled. The 6 figures you need to complete Wendigo are Wolverine, Cannonball, Boom Boom, Guardian, Nightcrawler, and Mr. Sinister. Once you have all 6 figures, you can put together your very own Wendigo. So, what we're going to do now is take a little break, get him off the stand, and then we'll have a better look at Wendigo. So stay tuned, everyone. And so here we have Wendigo fully assembled and off the display stage. Now, unfortunately, Wendigo being a Build-A-Figure, he doesn't really come with any accessories, and that's what we've come to expect from Build-A-Figure, so I'm not going to hold it against the figure. So with the negative accessories out of the way, let's actually take a look at Wendigo. And so here we have a closer look at Wendigo. Now what we have here is a figure that we have seen for the most part in the past. Some of the parts are reused, but they used it to great effect to make this a really nice figure. Now Wendigo does have a really nice head sculpt. Now I know it's not a lot of people's Wendigo. I know a lot of people would prefer a different head sculpt, but I think this looks really good and it's just really menacing. You can have him howling or roaring, whatever you want. Really love the deep piercing red eyes that he has going on right here. It's just so menacing, and then how they shaded the black, well, gray around it. And then you can see he does have some, like a beard going on right here with some chops right there. His mouth is, of course, sculpted wonderfully, and we do have some blood on those teeth. I would have liked to see some more blood just painted on his goatee right here around the mouth and just some dripping onto the chest, but I think I'll do that eventually. You can see he does have really long pointy ears. He does have a really long hair right here, which starts white and then transitions into almost like a slate. So I do like that. So that's his head sculpt. Now, for the most part, he is a reuse of Sasquatch, so a lot of pieces that we have here we did see on Sasquatch, such as his torso, which I'm not really complaining. It looks really good. There is some sculpt work all throughout the torso, as you can see. We do have some bare spots where I would assume his skin would be, but we still have a little bit of fur there. I would have liked to see some blue wash throughout that. You can see just the musculature right here, how much the sculpt work looks like fur there. He does have a big old patch of fur right here at the top, and it is a softer plastic. It's not the softest plastic in the world, but it will move out of the way, as you can see. So I do like that. And you can see it just adds to the bulk of this figure, so he looks really nice. Taking a look at his arms. From the shoulder down to his wrist, it's all Sasquatch reuse, but they painted it really well. You can see it starts blue, goes all the way to white, looking really good. Then we have some more of that blue highlights. On the inside, we don't have any paint, but on the back, you can see some blue right here. Although when you move his hand, there's no paint there, and I really don't know how they would have done that. Maybe painting the peg? I don't know. Because on the inside, his hand is white, so I think that's the best way they could have gone about it. And then we have these newly sculpted hands. You can see he has really big claws for grabbing people, and it just looks so monstrous. On this hand, we also do have somewhat of a grip hand, although I would have liked to see some spread out hands just because it's Wendigo and you want him to look fierce. But I really do love those claws. I would just wish the claws were painted a little bit. Going on to his stomach right here, you can see we have some more blue paint just on the high parts of his fur. Even right here on the back, although one issue I think I do have is this. Blue paint, white plastic, blue paint. Why didn't they just continue the paint? It's not as bad on this side, but on camera you can see it. To the naked eye, it's not as bad, but it's still noticeable. His tail does have some of that blue paint, going all throughout, about right here on his tail. And then it's just the white plastic, which is a really nice soft plastic, so you don't have to worry about that getting in the way. The only problem is This is a soft piece and the peg is a little soft, so doing this might end up tearing the peg that this is attached to, so do be careful with that. Unlike Sasquatch, we do have his fur coming down lower right here, so that's something different. But then the legs from the hips down to the feet are reused from Sasquatch. We get that nice sculpted fur. Although you can see this is a shinier plastic, this is a more flat plastic. And that's just because this is a little bit softer than this piece. Otherwise the Build-A-Figure wouldn't work. Going down to his legs, you can see his calves are just covered in that fur, which is painted really well on the front, not so much the back. Then we have a look at his feet, and his feet are huge. You can see his claws right here. Some more blue paint throughout the high parts of his fur. So overall, Wendigo here is an impressive looking figure. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually take a closer look with some comparisons so you get an idea of how big Wendigo is. And so here we have Wendigo posed next to a Marvel Legends Cyclops and a DC Multiverse Superman. Here we do have Wendigo posed next to a WWE Elite Scale figure and a Mezco 1/12 Collective Popeye the Sailor Man. Here we have Wendigo posed next to First Appearance Wolverine. Here we have Wendigo posed next to the Incredible Hulk. And finally, here we have the Build-A-Figure Wendigo posed next to the Build-A-Figure Sasquatch. So with the comparisons out of the way, let's actually move on to his articulation. Now, Wendigo here does have limited articulation just because of the way he's sculpted, so let's actually take a look at that. His head is on a hinge, which does look down about that far, does look up about that far, so we only get a hinge right here in the neck. Does rotate left and right really well, so I do like that. Arms are on ball joints, they go out all the way horizontal, which is really good. They only go up about that far because the fur is going to get in the way. They do go back only to about that far, only again because the fur gets in the way. We do have a bicep swivel, which works really well. We have a single bend in the elbow, giving us about 90 degrees. Then we have a swivel and a hinge here in the wrist, and that works no problem. Here they didn't fix the same issue that we had with Sasquatch. Now we do get good range moving forward and good range moving back. Unfortunately, we get this pizza oven right here where you can see inside the figure. Not ideal, it's just something that they could have worked on but didn't. But again, we do get pretty good range going forward and back. We do have a swivel right here in the waist. Legs do kick forward a little bit too much. If you do move them too high, you will pull the leg out of socket, so it does go forward about that far, goes back about that far, kicks out to the side. Better than most Marvel Legend figures. We do have a thigh swivel, double bend in the knee, goes up only to about that far. We don't have a calf swivel, but we do have a hinge in the foot, which does go back. Oh, it's really stiff. Let's see. It does go back to about there, comes forward to about there. Really stiff peg. I am a little bit worried about that. And then forward-facing pin for rocker ankles. So overall, pretty good figure. I do like the way he turned out. So what we're going to do now is take a little break, get him posed for my final thoughts, and then we'll wrap up this review. And so here we have the Marvel Legends Build-A-Figure Wendigo posed for my final thoughts. And overall, this is a really nice figure. Now, I'm not the biggest Marvel fan, so I really don't know too much about Wendigo. I mainly know about the Wendigo that is from Native American culture, but this is a really nice figure, and I think he turned out really well. Now, I don't have any of the older Hasbro Wendigos to compare him to, or a Toy Biz one, but I think this is a really good figure to have in your collection, especially if you're getting into Marvel Legends and you just want this really big, monstrous creature for your Avengers or anybody to fight. Wendigo here is full of really nice sculpt work and decent paint apps, which is something we really don't see on Marvel Legends too much, is shading and good paint apps, and I think Wendigo here is done really well. If you are trying to get Wendigo, I have seen him run for about $90 to $100 loose, and that's getting all his pieces separately. I'm pretty sure, depending on the seller, depends on how much you're going to end up paying. I was lucky enough to pick up my entire case from the Marvel Legends Wendigo series from BigBadToyStore.com. Now, At the time I'm making this video, the Wendigo series is hitting stores, so check Walmart, Target, Walgreens, or of course order it online off BigBadToyStore.com where you can get the entire case and save yourself the hassle of tracking down each figure individually. With that being said, guys, I'm King of Dragons 5000. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel, go check out all my other action figure reviews, as well as all my other Marvel Legend videos. Hopefully you find them informative. As always, if there's a figure you would like to see me review, let me know down in the comments, and if it fits in my collection, I'll definitely have a look at it. While you're at it, check out my Instagram account for new and exciting action figure photos, and ring that bell to be notified every time I upload a video. Don't forget, subscriptions don't really let you know when videos go up, so you gotta ring that bell to be updated every time one of my videos goes up. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Take care, everyone.